Hello, hello, hello there. It is your girl Tiffany, aka Opinionated Diva, and welcome to my brand new podcast, Plenty of Tiff. So fitting, right? I know. I am so excited to have this podcast here. I'm so glad that you're here with me. And what I really want this podcast to be is you, me, like we're literally sitting in a living room or having a couple of drinks and just talking about life's musings or things that we happen to see on the news, things we saw online, things we saw in the world, if our family bothering us, any of those things, right? That's what I want. I feel like there are so many podcasts out there and there are these niche podcasts, right? I've done two of them and they're great and they're fun for a while. But for me, it got to be monotonous and it didn't become fun anymore. And so I feel like with the Plenty of Tiff podcast, there are so many facets to me, just like there are in the world. And every week I can bring a new side of that, either whether it's myself or whether it's some take on something that's going on in the world. So that's what I really want this to be. So join me on this journey. I know everyone has their favorite podcast that they listen to. So I don't really have a time limit for this one, but I do want to respect your time. So some might be shorter, some might be longer, but I do hope that I go up on your list of favorite podcasts that you listen to every week. Also, if you don't know, I live in the borough of Brooklyn, New York, which I love. So my studio is my home. So if you hear a train, a plane, an ambulance, a fire truck, all four at the same time, let it rock. This is my home, okay? This is where I live. But you really shouldn't have to hear any of that. So, but we'll make sure that we have some fun up in here, okay? So, what I've done with my podcast is that I actually have it into segments. So every week there will be the same segments. I may add to it, just depending on, the feedback I get. But this way, it keeps some continuity in our conversations so that you know what to expect every week. And also that you can write in, I'm talking to you, write in and let me know what you want to hear about, what you've been hearing in the street. You know what I mean? Anything you heard or things you didn't hear. And like, Tiffany, I can't believe you didn't talk about that. Okay. So let's get started. My first segment is called The Diva Drop. Now, this is the biggest headline that I've heard of the week. And that's just in my opinion. And as a wise woman once said, I said what I said. So that's kind of where I got the inspiration for the diva drop. So I have been apparently living under a rock. I do follow social media all the time. I'm very, very into pop culture. I really am. But apparently I'm not into domestication. So I was not familiar with many of the social media influencer couples that exist out there. I just wasn't. So when I was getting my feed flooded with this announcement that Kristy and Desmond Scott were divorcing, I was like, "Oh, I thought they were on Love Island or I just didn't know who they were." So I had to ask my friends, like, "Who are they?" And they're like, "Girl, you don't know who they are?" So I was like, "Oh, hold on, let me figure out." And then when I figured out, I was like, "Girl, were you living under a rock?" Because clearly they have a gazillion followers and they were just what I saw, a beautiful couple, beautiful children, beautiful family. I think they were high school sweethearts and then reconnected. But anyway, all that to say, after 10 years of marriage, in December, they announced that they were going to be getting divorced. They didn't announce separation, so I don't know if they were already separated, honey, or what happened. And what really got me on the bandwagon to even talk about them as my diva drop of the week is Desmond's statement. So this goes to all the hubbies out there or people in general who want to release some type of public statement about your relationship demise. Backhanded apologies have no place in the universe. So what got me with his statement was, this is what really got me, right? I saw all the things he said. We had a great life and family. We're going to be great co-parents. All that's wonderful. Great, Desmond. But when you said, I wanted a separation and I told Kristy that. And during that time, I made some choices I'm not proud of. What kind of backhanded shit was that? Like, you basically just said, yeah, I fucked out, but Kristy knew I was probably going to do that because I told her I wanted separation. You know what that gives me? Break baby. So Kristy, watch out, girl, because your little ones might have some half siblings. That it just gives me break baby shit. Like, why would you even say that? But whatever. So I just feel like when you're a public figure and you're in a relationship and it doesn't work out, which is that's life, right? So I don't blame anyone, even if it's infidelity. If that's what it is, that's what it is, right? So that happens. So I'm not saying that. I just think that take accountability for what you did in the relationship and also make it short. Honey, that statement was too long. Just say that you want us to respect your privacy and you all decided to. We're going to find out anyway. And we're going to find out who it is. Or she's going to tell it. Or he. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know what it is. But whatever, it's all going to come out. That person is going to come out because we'll see. So anyway, I am not a person that likes backhanded apologies. Just don't apologize. Just say we're getting a divorce and like be done with it. So that was my diva drop. Like I said what I said about that. This is probably why I don't follow couples because my expectation is in the gutter that it'll survive. Although I come from a family where we were a nuclear family for a long time. So I'm not saying it can't happen, but when it does happen, like, dude, that was just so lame. Moving on to the next segment of Plenty of Tiff. This segment is called Shine or Shade or Side Eye. So this is basically just things that I've either seen or I've heard. And am I going to give that some shine? Or like, am I going to shade it? Like, no. Or am I going to side eye it? Like, I don't know, not sold, but you know. So the 2026 trend that I saw that I think just resonates, I think it should resonate with everyone is maximalism. It is bold everything. Bold fashion, bold beauty, bold tech. I say bold choices, bold moves, just bold, 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 bold. And I love that idea. So I'm definitely going to give that a shine. I think we can apply that in all areas of our life, whether it's decision making about our job, relationships, where we want to be in the world, geographically or figuratively, just anything. Like, let's just think bold in 2026. And we have to, because being stagnant is just not going to get us anywhere. So let's kind of keep moving on. So I'm definitely going to give that a shine for the maximalism. Let's do that. I'm so about it. Can't wait. And I have so much, especially in terms of beauty, I have so much makeup that I do not wear. I'm going to be wearing eyeshadow all the time. But anyway, moving on. The next one this is for the kiddies. I am recently learning, well, not learning, I know about especially in New York and recently in New Jersey, cell phone bans in schools. I am so shine a light on them. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. And I don't know if it's already been going on around the country, but New York implemented it this school year, and New Jersey is going to implement it next school year. And so I'm all about this. And so when they've been interviewing the children in school, the kids actually have had good things to say about it, right? I know one kid said that, instead of me texting my friends, like, what are we doing after school? I actually ask them in person, like, what are we doing after school? So I think that's super cool to get back into hanging with your friends, not just being in your phone all the time, even though we know technology is here to stay and, we're going to be using it for school and work and things like that. I do think getting kids away from technology at times is, especially during school, honey, you need to be learning. So as my mom always say, do you know your schoolwork like you know the lyrics to that song? That still applies. That's like an age-old thing that never goes away. So the only thing I will say that I side eye about that is, but again, I'm not an educator, so but I just hope, I do know, but I hope that the schools have emergency plans in place because now there will be less ways to communicate with the outside world if there were to be some type of emergency that happens. And we know how schools have been in over the last decade or so in terms of school violence. And so I know a lot of kids during those instances were calling their parents and stuff on their cell phone. So that's my only thing, but I don't want to Debbie down that. But I know these schools have, emergency plans in place. As long as that's there, put them cell phones up. Okay, so shine a light on that. I'm all good with it. The next thing is and you're gonna laugh if you know me, healthy hair. I know. So Lizzo recently posted a picture of her cutting her hair, which it looked healthy to me, and starting off with a fresh, new, natural look. She got this natural, beautiful brown shade. I love that shade that she has. And she's going on a hair journey, like a healthy hair journey, not natural, but a healthy hair journey. And as someone who has been bleaching their hair since the dawn of time, I my hair says shine. My hair is screaming for something, a change. But so if you are watching these roots, it's killing me, but I have to stay strong. I am trying to grow my hair out enough to where I can just get bold highlights, and then I'll work on that. I need baby steps with me, okay? My emotional stability says this is all shade because I really want to go to the beauty supply store right now and get my powder and developer and call it a day. But I'm not going to do that. If you're blonde, I know you understand what I'm talking about, okay? But and you can't. People say you can be a healthy blonde. It's not true. It's just not. I mean, it may be genetics, but there's nothing healthy about the chemicals that can burn your nose hair and think it won't burn your scalp. But anyway, Lizzo, thank you for planting that seed in my head that, maybe I should start focusing on that. And also for those of you who are maturing like myself, um, I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting older. A lot of things are happening. And I'm like, my hair is shedding a lot. And I thought, this girl, of course, is going to be breaking off because it's blonde. But no, I have severe iron deficiency. And that also uh, is a cause of hair loss and excessive hair shedding and things like that. So I am going to try to jump on the bandwagon with Lizzo and take myself on a health journey, but I will still be blonde. Hopefully I'll be able to keep this energy going and my hair at the same time. So thank you, Lizzo, for giving me some motivation to do that. Okay, my last one is a trend that's I think this was going on around TikTok, but grandma hobbies. I guess I'm a grandma, but I guess I was a grandma at 11 years old because I've been doing a lot of these things for a long time. So grandma hobbies are knitting, crocheting, sewing, jigsaw puzzles, gardening, crossword puzzles, doing those things instead of doom scrolling. Now, I love this idea. So definitely shine from me. I just do wish that it didn't have to be a trend, right? Like quarter zips. I love that trend. Although I'm not a fan of matcha. I don't really know if all the kids who are doing it in the videos are either, but I love a quarter zip. I love young men looking like young men, right? And changing up, switching up your look. So I wish it was not a trend, right? So I'm going to say shine, but make it forever. All right. So I definitely like that. All right. So we've already had 2 segments already. So we had the diva drop and we just had shine or shade or side eye. Now, oh no, y'all, how did I forget this? This is where I got my notes. There is one more shine or shade or side eye that I must talk about. And this one, maybe my entire audience won't get it, but we're going to talk about it. Toxic mom groups. I am not a mother, but I am an auntie, and I do have friends who are mothers. So if you know Ashley Tisdale, when I think of her, I think like, I don't know, was she on Nickelodeon or Disney Channel? I know she was a singer or something, right? Something like that. So she did this essay, personal essay. I can't remember what magazine or outlet she did it for, where she removed herself from her mom group because it was toxic. It was mean girl. They would be going on outings without her and she wouldn't see it until it was on Instagram or on their story or things like this. And it became this huge debate online. And what really got me more interested in it is when I realized who the alleged mom group members were. Okay. One, because I loved This Is Us, Mandy Moore, Mandy, girl, Hillary Duff, Megan Trainor, Megan, literally, I love you. I love you, girl. So I'm rooting for you. So let's figure this out. But the most important person with this that I thought of was Hillary Duff's husband, who put something up. on his story. Dude, know your lane. Are you a mom? Why are you even responding to anything about a mom group? And this is my thing. Okay, let's talk about it. All right. And this is not stereotypical and it is not racial. This is white mess. Okay. This is just what it is. It's not a racial thing. It's just what it is, right? When it's rich white people problems, in this case, rich white women, right? Now, I was looking on Google and Google said that the phrase white mess was coined by the Keep It podcast back in 2020, 2023. No, honey, talk to my ancestors. We've been known about this. Okay. So this has always been going on. But I think even if it were whatever the group is, I think when you are rich, of course, we all have the same problems because at the end of the day, we are human. So I'm not saying that mom groups don't have issues, right? There are mom groups, again, on Main Street and suburbs and suburbia and all that. But when you have these rich white women, and then you take up space, and dare I say space for someone like me, an aspiring journalist maybe, who could have written a personal essay about so many other things, but I don't want to call it narcissism, but it gives that the one thing you want to talk about is you, right? And how you felt because you were excluded and you and you and you and you. I- did you did you think about that before you wrote the essay? It just gave tone deaf also. Like there's so much going on. I don't care if you wrote it last year, girl. If you wrote anything before January of last year, then otherwise there's so much more going on that I would think to myself, there's so much more going on in the world right now. Is me taking up space in a national accredited space talking about my rich white girl mom group that I don't want to be a part of anymore because they're toxic. It's all just crazy to me. But I love white mess. So it was great. And then what's happening too is because it wasn't just that she did that. And it wasn't just that Hillary Duff's husband did some shady Instagram story post. It is that Megan Trainor, girl, you done lost weight looking great and you're getting into the mess. Why are you, girl, you got so much, ignore her. So they're like, she put something up where she didn't say anything, but they're like, doing these little subtle things where it's like, it's not me. I think Ashley Tisdale's agent or team said that is not who she was talking about. Listen, if you are a celebrity or a public figure and you say my mom group, who else are they going to be? I mean, literally, who else? Anyway, you knew what you were doing when you got what you wanted. You got what you wanted, and I'm being honest. And I don't know, girl, because listen, I'm nobody. Okay, I live whatever paycheck I get, the paycheck. So, not saying anything about you, but were you looking to just come back into whatever? I don't know. Like, I feel like now they're getting this spotlight. Like, it's almost like Real Housewives, except make it Disney. I don't know. But anyway, I love talking about that, as you could clearly tell. Now, let's also talk about the last segment that I have. Now, I may add some segments as we go on. If you're like, Tiffany, girl, how you forget to talk about that? Or if it fit in the category and you didn't hear about it, I can always talk about it the next week. So just let me know. This segment is called Read the Room. It goes without saying. And the winner of this week's Read the Room goes to the U.S. government, specifically the White House administration and any federal entity, ICE, fuck ICE. Sorry, I'm going to blur a lot of things out in this episode. I think it's abhorrent what's happening. I just can't even, I can't believe what's happening in this country right now. I literally feel like we are regressing in time, in real time. That's what I feel like. And it's sad and it makes me angry. And I don't understand how like, I feel like this country is just going in a place where it's like, forget what your political values were. Like that's out the window now. Like literally doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. I just read before I started recording that Trump wants to ban alcohol. Out of all the things that you want to ban, is that not sexual assault? Criminal. Not killing innocent civilians, not trying to take over someone else's land. It's giving very new age Louisiana Purchase to me, but you know what? Go down that rabbit hole on your own. So read the room. And by the room, I mean the world. What in the fuck is going on here? I just, this is why I created this podcast too, because we all have to go somewhere to vent. And I'd rather do it here than to vent at some stranger in the street. Because in New York, kind of, we already on edge. So I don't want to have to like take anybody out on some dumb crap they're saying about whoever they're saying it about, right? So that's just kind of where I am with that. I don't really have a dedicated time frame for how long I want my podcast to be. So some days might be shorter, some days might be longer, depends on what I have going on. But I do want to respect everybody's time because there's so many podcasts out there. And I know all of you have your favorite podcast that you make sure you listen to every week. And I hope this one climbs up the ladder there with you. So thank you for taking the time to hang with your girl Tiffany, aka Opinionated Diva, on the Plenty of Tiff podcast. And I will see you next week. So make sure if you want to talk about a topic or you want to hear anything, feel free to DM me. I am Opinionated Diva on Instagram. I am the Opinionated Diva on TikTok. And you can also email me, but I can get a DM. So that's just quicker for me to get to. And let's there's plenty of things to talk about, honey. It's plenty of tiff too to go around. So let's do it. So thank you all so much. I am super, super excited. I'm really, really happy and proud of myself for even doing this right now because I'm super tired and I need to go to bed. So thank you so much. And I will talk to you next week.